Ladies and gents, hello and welcome to ROG Pulse, the weekly show where we dive into all things tech and gaming. I'm your host, Jake Kalinsky, and this week we've got Whitson and Eric joining. Eric, it's been a while. What is new?
Hey, it's good to talk with you again, Jake. Been a real pleasure.
Not just me, but the whole internet. All of it.
All of it is here.
Person on the internet is here right now, as they should be.
Yeah.
Where else would they be?
Whitson, what's good?
You know, not much. Wearing my sweet ROG acronym shirt. Got awesome stuff all over it. I'm digging it.
Man,
Hey, now we got the
we're showing off
ROG
shirts
stealth hoodie over here.
We have a stealth hoodie?
here. I have that
Stealth hoodie.
Yeah.
Can you still get it?
It might not be for sale anymore. I got one a year ago.
See, ROG merchandise varies region to region, and the stealth hoodie is a North American item. Most of the stuff that Whitson and I get comes from the head office, the global office. So I do have that acronym shirt as well, but I'm a little bit too thick for it. I mean, just the thickness is there, but that's okay.
That's interesting because I've actually sent me a size too big, so it's like I'm wearing a dress right now. You can't see because it's only this high up, so it still works for stream. But yeah, they sent me the wrong size, so it looks ridiculous.
Beautiful. So for everyone that's typing giveaway in chat, the giveaways actually only work on Twitch, and I may have mistakenly had that in the text on YouTube, but you have to join our Twitch chat to partake in the giveaway because YouTube is stupid. I don't know what else. It's different. We're not allowed to do it there. But it's on
Come
Twitch.
on over to Twitch.
Come to Twitch. Twitch.tv/ASUS
It's a good
ROG.
time.
And all the commands only work on Twitch as well. You know, most of our streaming we do on Twitch. We don't really do a whole lot of live streaming on YouTube.
Didn't we have a bot that used to work on YouTube that would show like the monitor you're using and stuff like that?
There's a bunch of complications as to why that doesn't work. And
Okay, fun times, guys. Twitch is the place for Pulse.
Yeah, it's possible to like set up a different bot to do that theoretically, but
Yeah.
Anyways, we do most of our streaming on Twitch, so please come on over to twitch.tv/ASUS ROG.
Yeah, Jake's over here streaming games like all week long on Twitch, guys.
Yeah, I'll drop a
You
link
think it's just this show, but
in
it's
chat
not.
on YouTube. But let's talk about some games. What are you guys
Dude.
excited for?
I mean, I already played God of War, so I don't know but I want to replay it on PC. It was just that good. It's one of my top 5 games of all time. Why not?
For good reason.
Why not play it on PC?
All time.
Top 5 all time, easily.
Man.
Have you played it yet, Eric?
I have not played a God of War game since the last game entitled God of War.
So this is the only God of War game I've ever played, and let me tell you, it's incredible. I don't think, I mean, like, if you're not a fan of the old ones, I wouldn't say avoid this one. It's very different.
Yeah, it's
Very
hard to even compare them. So I grew up playing the other God of War games. I thought they were super fun as a kid. I mean, hack and slash. You get to be a God of War. Your Kratos is just a badass, right? And you're slaying mythical beasts and fighting other gods. Like, it's a really cool narrative. And I played all 3 of them growing up. Thought they were great. They are just, I mean, it's a different era of gaming, but they are not even in the same realm of relevance. Like, I liked the games growing up, but God of War on the PS5 or PS4 is my favorite single player game ever made. It is that good of a game. I mean, there's certain things that probably elevated it for me. Playing it on a it was the first 4K game I played on my OLED, right? Large scale gaming. I played it with
Beautiful HDR.
Yeah, I played it in HDR. I played it with my wife hanging out, and we enjoyed the experience together. So we all made sure that she could be there to watch it and explore it. And the other thing is the game has one POV the whole game, right? So the camera view never breaks, right? It never does like a jump cut to this POV to this POV. It's one camera, start to finish, never breaks that.
It's really cool. And actually, I hear that was kind of difficult to implement for ultra-wide displays on PC.
Which makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
So they said it was an extremely difficult challenge for them to retain that whole element of the game for ultra-wide. But yeah, it really does make an incredibly cinematic, dynamic game. Kratos, it's the same Kratos, right? He's just older. He has a son, right? So you get this kind of heartfelt, like battered warrior that's, seen some shit, for lack of better words. He has seen some awful things in his life, and he has slain some terrifying things. And now he's got to, well, I'll tell you the start of the game. You got to bury your wife. That's kind of how the game opens. And you're with your son, and that's it.
So High Demon asks, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this again when you're streaming it. Does it need knowledge of past games to play? And I think Jake and I disagree on this. I'm going to say you don't have to play the past games, but because it's a reboot, but it's a soft reboot, so it's the same canon, but it's not continuing the same story necessarily. But it does.
Well, there's a huge time skip.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so
but it does harken back to those stories enough. In ways that I think it greatly improves your appreciation of the game if you just go watch one of like the 20-minute YouTube videos that summarizes the past games. I think if you do that, you're golden. That's what I did, and I feel like I was able to appreciate the game more fully as a result.
I would highly encourage you do that instead of trying to go back and play the old games, because I played them growing up, and I tried going back and playing them. They didn't age well at all. Just the control schemes as to like what we expect games to kind of function like, it just felt so bad. Like it really did. And yeah, watch a video, get caught up on the story. Cause I agree with you actually for once in this show's history. I agree with you. I thought we talked about
this and you disagreed with me in the past.
I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I do think that there is enough, substance that you're going to appreciate in the game. That's like, oh yeah, this is that, or, and so on. So, it's you
guys are giving me pause here, and initially I was sitting here thinking, how am I going to have time for God of War when Mass Effect comes to Game Pass?
I mean, it's hard because Mass Effect is actually my favorite single player gaming experience of all time. God of War is like, I don't know, maybe number 2 or 3, but you got to do them both. Because I just did Legendary Edition before it came to Game Pass. Now I'm kicking myself, of course. That's how I spent like my entire summer, and it was incredible. And I'll tell you what too, after 10 years, it holds up, but it kind of hits different as like I'm like a different person now than I was when I first played it. And so I find myself connecting with different characters than I did the first time through, and playing things a little differently. It is definitely worth revisiting. If you have Game Pass, go play. I mean, honestly, for however many bucks a month Game Pass is, it's worth subscribing just to play Mass Effect. You'll spend less than you would on the full game.
Yeah, that's what gets me about Game Pass. Like, there's one thing I like on there, it's worth the price, and there's way more than one thing I like on there.
Oh, there's so many good things on there.
Constant value from Game Pass. I gotta be the guy I gotta ask about Pokemon. Is anybody excited about the new Pokemon game?
Haven't played Pokemon since the original Red and Blue.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about Pokemon Unite, sir.
Okay. No, it's very interesting to me because it's like they're finally making that kind of like MMO Pokemon game, and I find it's a really polarizing thing. You're either really excited for it or you're just like, nope, don't care. And I think us in PC gaming world care a lot less than a lot of the traditional console gamers, or maybe just like the Nintendo fans, but. Anyways.
Yeah, and Nintendo's not even like PC versus console. Nintendo is its own cluster of people, and you can be a console gamer that likes Nintendo or a PC gamer that also likes Nintendo on the side. Like people who grew up with it and stuck with it. It's its own category of like hobby almost, right?
It kind of is. It's this weird I don't know. Gaming communities are vast and very diverse. So
sure. And then Elden Ring was the other big gaming news this week, which I actually have no interest in because I'm not good enough at games to handle the Soulsborne.
I feel like most people that I talk to about Elden Ring say that they're mostly just waiting for reviews because they want to hear how hard the game is. I have never.
I think we know the answers.
Well, I've never played a Souls game. It's
going to be hard,
and I think
you haven't.
No, and that's going to be my first, and we're going to debut that on stream here. So look forward to that next month because I've never played one of those games, and I'm gonna stream that on Twitch, and we're gonna try to give away some copies of that, but we'll see. Stay tuned.
Cool. I better make some popcorn then. That should be pretty good.
I'll tell you, I played Bloodborne. That was the only Soulsborne game I've played. I played like the first hour or two of it because I had it free on PS Plus, and it was different than I expected, and I liked it more than I expected. I don't think I'm not gonna like go through and play all of it. I still don't think it's the kind of game that I can really handle. But I appreciated why everyone likes it. Like, I get it now. Even though it's not really for me, like, I get it. And so I think you might be surprised.
We'll see. I've always been intrigued by the games, but I've also been like, I have so many other games to play. Do I really want to buy another game right now? No.
So,
That's
Jake, I have to ask, since I know you're a fan of card games, have you played Inscription yet?
God, all my friends will not leave me alone about Inscription. Like, everyone is just so set on like me, because the thing about Inscription is, as soon as I pick it up, I am gonna just put way too much time into it. And
No, you're not.
really, you think I'm? I don't. I think
Jake says that about a lot of things, though.
Listen, this is not going to be like a Hearthstone where it's like your obsession for the next 5 years.
Well, it's
right?
single player, right? So there's definitely one thing there, because I like competitive.
It's a single
so
player.
There's that.
It's a story. It does a lot of things real well. You're going to get excited about it. And then a new game will come out and you can move on safe.
Okay. I'll have to find an opportunity to stream Inscription for work, but I got to ask you your opinion, because somebody was like, please stream it. Is it like super weird? Is super spooky? Is it like thematically like kind of like where would you rate it? Because I heard that it's kind of out there.
In terms of weirdness, yeah, it's really bizarre. This might be digging too far back into the past. Do you know a PC game called The Stanley Parable?
No.
It's not that far in the past, is it?
Maybe.
The answer's no regardless.
Anyway, it's a game that's a lot about the mechanics of gaming, and it's always playing with its own rules. So, yes, definitely weird. And the Act 2 and 3 twists are delightful and bizarre, and the ending is worthy of the build-up.
Okay. I will have to check it out.
In terms of mood and genre, people call it like a horror card game. But I mean, it's not like a jump scare game. It sets a tone. It's got a certain kind of music. It's got an environment.
Well,
it's all of a nice piece.
I have gotten so many.
The kids can gather around safely.
So many recommendations for that game that I think I have no choice but to stream it at this point. Other games that you guys can look forward to see streamed on the Twitch channel is I think tomorrow it's looking like Whitson's gonna get his first sea shanties sang in Sea of Thieves, as we're gonna crew up and get a what's the mid-tier boat called? There's like, oh man, I don't know any of the boat names. I'm gonna say the Galleon. I don't know. That sounds piratey to me. We're gonna go sailing in Sea of Thieves unless the stars align and we do end up playing God of War, which there's a chance, because we are aiming to give away copies of God of War, but we need to get all those details sorted out on our end before we can do that. So look forward to that on the Twitch stream. And we've got some other games coming up. We're going to be giving away keys of Monster Hunter Rise next week and streaming that.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, a lot of, because that game just came out on PC. It's been out for like a year, I think, on console, but it's just dropping on PC now.
Yeah.
And we got some keys to give away for that. So guys, make sure you follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AsusROG. And that is where today's giveaway will be happening, where we're giving out $20 vouchers to us.gamesplendid.com in about 9 minutes, where we'll be doing that via Marbles on stream. But you have to be able to type into Twitch chat to enter, because that's where the giveaway happens. So let's just transition into talking about technology, as it's been, about 10 days since CES 2022 happened, where CES yields lots of juicy news and content. We showed
a lot
off
of stuff happening.
Yeah, we showed off a lot of cool stuff, but that's kind of going to be a big focus on this stream for future episodes. Today is really going to be more about what a lot of our partners showed off. So like what Intel, what NVIDIA, and what AMD unveiled, and where we're kind of moving forward and what to expect. So let's...
Yeah, because we had a lot of exciting stuff. First of all, the fact that we have new CPUs from Intel, new CPUs and GPUs from AMD, and new GPUs from NVIDIA, like all at the same time. It's this like planets aligning thing where, okay, all new hardware. What a great time to upgrade your laptop or your rig or whatever, if you can get your hands on one of these chips, because there is some sweet stuff. Should we start with laptops?
Probably. That seems
I
like
think we should start with that. That was where the bulk of the announcements came in. A lot of the desktop stuff was kind of before.
That's true.
For CES. So laptops, we got some mobile chips from Intel, the new Alder Lake, and this is what I was really excited for. Alder Lake is awesome on desktop, like kick-ass gaming performance, but I was really excited to see it on laptops for not just the performance, but I'm hoping to see some cool battery life improvements from the Alder Lake architecture with those E-cores, man. So that could be really, really cool.
I'm curious as to what kind of difference we'll end up seeing. We don't really have any data yet, do we?
Not that we can share yet, I don't think.
Okay.
If you go, so I mean, I will say if you go to the product pages for some of the laptops we announced, some of them will have battery life expectations there. But that obviously includes a lot of different things. So there are 4 Intel processors in particular that we're using in our laptops: the i9-12900H, the i7-12800H, the i7-12700H, and the i5-12500H. Most of those are 6 P cores and 8 E cores, just with varying clock speeds, except for that i5, which is 4 P cores. And you'll find those in the Strix Scar, the Flow Z13, and the Zephyrus M16 are 3 Intel models this year so far. Those are going to be pretty sweet. That top i9 goes all the way up to 5 gigahertz, which is dope. And with 20 threads, I can't whistle, but if I could, I'd go, whoo, that whistle.
I'm actually like really eager to compare those Intel chips to the AMD chips and just see like the side by side and see what we're looking like in this new generation, because Alder Lake has done nothing but impress. It really does feel like Intel is back on top of their game, and we have some really strong competition between the two, which is the best for gamers, right? Having options is only a good thing.
It doesn't feel like there are any slouches in the CPU space
Not right now.
It's like any of these CPUs, like you're going to be set for good gaming performance. Yeah, so AMD announced their 6000 series, and AMD has been killing it in the laptop
Before we
space
dive into
AMD,
AMD, let me just quickly reference. We had the opportunity to sit down with 2 of the guys from Intel a few months ago, and when they first announced the Alder Lake for desktop. And basically one thing they said there was that is the start of the generation, right? Far from optimized, far from being the maximum power output they can do with kind of this new direction with the thread director and everything they're moving towards. So I think when we look at Intel over the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see
it's only going to get better.
I really am excited for next year. I'm thinking 2023 is going to be like, that's plan to build an Intel rig in 2023 unless AMD can come out swinging, because I'm expecting big things, but that's just me. But anyways, let's talk about these 6000 series AMD chips.
I think so. We can expect to see some small bumps to performance and battery life here too. One of the big things with the new AMD processors as well is that they now have RDNA 2 integrated graphics on them, which is really great if you're getting a machine where you don't have a dedicated GPU. Although I think for our specific laptops, it's unlikely you're going to be using that integrated GPU for gaming a lot, because you're going to have a dedicated GPU within the machine. But we've got a Ryzen 9 and Ryzen 7 on our Strix G models, our Zephyrus Duo, and the Zephyrus G14 and G15, as well as the Flow X13. Those are all going to have AMD chips. There are 2 kind of like sets of AMD chips that we're looking at. We've got the HX and the H that you'll find in the Strix and Duo. Those are like 45 watt plus chips that get up to 8 cores, 16 threads, 4.9, 4.7 gigahertz, depending on the chip. And then the HS processors in the Zephyrus models that are 35 watts, a little bit lower wattage on those for the thin and light segment. But the same core and thread count, the same clock speed, the same cache, just lower power usage. So you can stay within the thermal constraints of the more portable devices. So yeah, I'm excited.
I gotta say that in the past I always thought of AMD chips as having all these cores, all this multi-threaded performance, and Intel was just excelling at the single-threaded performance, that was so key for gaming. And those boundaries have really been blurred in the last year and going forward especially.
Yeah, they've both bumped up their own. AMD single-threaded performance is now fantastic, and Intel now has all these cores.
And the thread director and all these. Yeah. It's good.
Yep.
It's good to have.
I'm very excited.
Those weaknesses worked on both sides, and as we try to become, as competitive as possible in this market.
Yep. I gotta say though, the GPUs, even though there weren't as many GPUs announced, I'm really excited about the GPUs and the technologies that were announced alongside some of those GPUs. So I guess I don't know whether to start with AMD or NVIDIA. Let's start with AMD because I feel like we're going to talk about NVIDIA for a while. AMD released their 6000S series GPUs that are, again, not these GPUs. I'm talking about laptop GPUs. We're not there yet, Jake.
Oh, jumped the gun.
No, they have a new power efficient line of GPUs for thin and light laptops, and so you're going to see those in the Zephyrus G14 this year, the 6800S and the 6700S. And then we also have a high performance 6850M XT that is going to be going into this year's XG Mobile. So you can get the XG Mobile with the 3080 in it, or you can get the XG Mobile with AMD's 6850 XT in it, which is nice to have that choice. With what you want to do, and you can hook that up to the Z13 or the X13 for maximum power.
Oh man, I'm a bad person, and my Z13 is out of reach. But it is a gorgeous new ROG gaming tablet that we just released. It's like a Surface where you can attach a keyboard to it, but it is truly a tablet where all the hardware, all the the CPU and everything is behind the display, not underneath the keyboard in this instance. And man, it is a glorious device. We're going to be showing off all kinds of new stuff here in the stream soon. I'm hoping for the Zephyrus Duo next. That's what I want. But we're going to derail the GPU talk because we have to do the giveaway.
So
so
let's do it.
We're going to derail that, and you're going to see this there we go. There's Marbles, where it belongs. We're going to do Marbles on stream. So to enter Marbles on stream for our giveaway, you need to be in Twitch chat, and you need to type !play in chat as soon as we launch into the map. So I'm going to pick, Taking Flight. Why not? That sounds fun. And this is a system that is basically integrated into our Twitch account, and it will read Twitch chat. So by typing !play, your name will appear, as you see many popping up now, and that will enter you for a chance to win in the giveaway. We're going to be giving away a $20 voucher to us.gamesplanet.com to first place and last place. We'd like to celebrate losers here.
We don't call them losers, Jake. We call them winning challenged.
Oh, wow. But don't you want to be the biggest loser? That's
No, I don't, because then this shirt really won't fit.
Oh yeah, that was a show. I was like, the term means something. It was something.
But you couldn't remember.
It was a weight. Yeah, I could. It was a weight loss show. That's what it was. Nice. So we'll give you guys a moment to enter here. Eric, this is your first time seeing a live Marbles event, huh? You're going to commentate it with me?
I am excited here.
It's really fun. It's the highlight of our streams. Everything else is just like padding until we get to Marbles.
We did during the last stream of the year, I think it was, or it was at least last week, we did a whole Grand Prix where it's a bunch of different courses and you earn points through each race. So at the end you get like a top 10, and I did giveaways to our top 10 players on the leaderboard. It was a lot of fun. So definitely want to do more of that, just because I like Whitson said, Marbles is really just a treat.
There you go. It's reminding me of Fall Guys over here.
It's got some.
I'm telling Jake we need to play Fall Guys on stream, and Jake's like,
I own it. We can do it.
I don't own it, and I want to play it.
Okay.
I would buy it to play on stream with you.
I was all over that for a few months right when that came out. I checked into it recently. It's still got a community there.
It's still going.
It'll drop you into a show in just a couple seconds, so it's not hurting for people.
It's got very nice sound design. I find it to just be very funny to listen to their stupid chatter and the way they, I don't know. It's very, very silly in that regard. But all right, we're going to go ahead and start the giveaway here. Good luck and have fun.
Oh, man.
Good cat.
Look at all those marbles.
83 marbles. First and last. And ultimately, we will send the winners a message on Twitch sometime tomorrow.
Provided you're not a bot.
Yep. We always try to verify that your account is authentic, and then we make sure that, the winners are awarded accordingly. We actually just the game allows us to just basically copy a full spreadsheet of the winning list, and we drop that into a document, and we'll message the winners tomorrow. First and last place.
Yep. So if you're multi-accounting, don't expect that voucher in your messages. Someone else will get it.
That's how we do it. I forgot. This map seems like such a cool one when you go to it, right? There's a lot of different stages, but it's actually really boring.
I've not seen this one before.
Yeah, there's all these cars that drive around, but when I did it last time, they did absolutely nothing. Like, you can see they're just kind of like being stupid and like crashing. like there's some weird
oh my gosh
physics going on here. And but they didn't do anything. All the marbles just went down the sides, and like there was no engagement.
There need to be more cars.
Maybe it'll be different this time. But yeah, they just go to the sides, and they just kind of stay on the sides. Look at them all. Oh,
is it bad that I'm cheering for a crash with the cars here?
That's what I want too.
That's what makes it fun. Look, everyone's just passing right by him.
Yeah.
Swinging
his tail out.
So it's possible that the marbles, it doesn't slow the marbles down, that the marbles like trip the cars up, but the marbles keep going.
Maybe.
The marbles cause the cars to just skid out for entertainment's sake, but they don't actually stop the marbles from like getting to their destination any faster.
Brazilian Air is our first place.
Asian Venom says he saw a marble get blocked. Okay. I was just hypothesizing.
Baboon Error, High Demon Fledger. Hanhon is actually a ghost of a previous course, so that's not a player.
Wow, y'all are going a lot slower than the previous ghost.
Yeah. JDMCC? Oh my god, where did you come from? You were nowhere near the front. I call hacks. You won one the other day. Well, congratulations, JD.
Rigged.
I know, right? That's actually insane, though.
It's not rigged, guys.
Last place. Well, that's why we do last place. You can't rig last place. Or can you?
You could. Everyone is in here doing boost, and someone else is like, exclamation point, molasses. And it just goes super slowly.
I mean, one of these people like moving backwards right here.
Yeah, how are they even? What is happening? Oh, is there like wind? I don't even understand. Like, the fire is going to catch up at this point. If you're too slow, the flames will devour you.
That's true. And you don't get last for being burned up in the inferno.
Nope, you got to actually finish.
Nope.
Dano Falcon currently looking like the winner, but we'll see. Or the biggest loser as. All right, let's verify JDMCC in first place. And
JDMCC, are you here?
Dano Falcon in last place.
He already responded.
Congratulations,
Dano Falcon
guys.
also responded.
Yep, they're here. Congrats, guys. Congrats.
Dano Falcon, you get a consolation prize for being too slow.
Hey, it's the same value. $20 voucher to usgamesplanet.com. Not too shabby.
I just want to say Inscription is only $20. Yeah.
Is it on Games Planet?
We'll find out.
It probably is.
It is and will not be hard to spend $20 on Games Planet.
No, it will not.
Well, the best part about
guys, remember, if you own an ROG device, you can get
an additional
VIP prices.
Yeah.
Through Armory Crate or whatever. You can go to the store like in Armory Crate, get you usually see like 5-10% off, something like that, and then you can stack your voucher on top of that. And those stack with other discounts too, I think. I got Deathloop for very affordably, like the day it came out, because I stacked 2 different discounts.
There you go.
$18 on Games Planet. You'll have $2 left for something.
Well, the best part about Games Planet is you redeem these vouchers on your account, and it's just like having store credit, right? So you don't need to like apply it towards the game. You just get $20. You can, like I said, JDMCC won the other day, so he now has $40 that he can stack and work towards whatever game he wants. Maybe he wants to buy God of War. I think with the ROG discount, you can buy God of War, a brand new game that comes out on PC tomorrow for $45. It's $60 on Steam. You get it for $45 on Games Planet with the ROG discount. So there's definitely some big value to be had there. But
I see a lot of people asking availability and pricing questions about new laptops and GPUs. We do not have that information yet. When we do, we will announce it.
I know you guys are hungry. You want to know. And I know. The information will be here soon, but it's not here.
Not here yet.
Not here today. I wish.
But we can talk about some of the NVIDIA GPUs in these bad boys, both desktop and laptop. That laptop is actually there wasn't a ton of stuff announced for laptops. It was the 3070 Ti and the 3080 Ti, which, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
NVIDIA, I think, claimed 10 to 20% more powerful than the non-Ti variants, and you will find those chips in the Strix Scar, Strix G, Zephyrus Duo, Zephyrus G15, and the Zephyrus M16. You'll find those available in a lot of our 2022 laptops. That's going to be pretty sick. We have an entire guide to all of the laptops that we're offering on Asus, rog.asus.com. So you can check that out. You can see all the stuff that we announced and all of the different configurations available. I'm pretty excited for NVIDIA's desktop GPUs they announced, though, particularly the 3050.
Yeah, can we talk about the 3050?
We need to talk about the 3050.
Is the 3050 the biggest announcement of all of these announcements? Would you say?
I mean, it really could be.
Because look, we can list the other stuff off really easily, and 3080, 12 gigabyte.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. But nothing like super crazy new there.
3090 Ti,
And
like
the 3090 Ti, which we don't have anything to announce on that front yet, but the 3090 Ti, NVIDIA did announce it for later this year.
But still prohibitively like expensive. It's going to be impossible to
crazy
get.
Powerful,
and
not something for most people.
Yeah.
You know, let's be clear. There's an audience for a graphics card with 24 gigabytes of VRAM on it, like the 3090 had on, and whatever's coming into 3090 Ti, it has a guaranteed audience.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a monster of a card.
But it's not the average gamer's GPU.
It's
by
not
any
average.
means.
It doesn't excite me in the same way that the 3050 does.
Right.
Because
you're bringing ray tracing
look,
at an affordable price.
Yes. An RTX card, and not just an RTX card, but a card with DLSS in that lower mid-range price bracket is amazing, because this is probably one of the most exciting 50 level cards we've had in a long time, because now with a 50 level card and DLSS in tow, or even the other technology that they just announced, which we can talk about in a minute, all of a sudden you can play games at 1440p with really great image quality on a lower powered card. This is like, all of a sudden mid-range GPUs are kick-ass because of DLSS. That's how I feel. That's what excites me about
absolutely
the 50 cards. And we've seen that on laptops. Eric has written about that on the site. We've seen that in laptops the past year or two. But I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm interested to see how available they are, what they go for. We are going to have versions we'll have an ROG Strix version, an ROG Strix OC Edition 3050, and we're also offering an Asus Dual version, and there's going to be a compact, like one fan Asus Phoenix variant. If you're building like a very tiny mini ITX rig and want a mid-range graphics card to go in it, you can grab the Phoenix variant as well. So we have a lot of options in the 3050 realm. And for the 3080 12 gigabyte, we'll have Strix and TUF variants for those. Yeah, so there's the Dual right there. It's got a little bit of lighting. It's got the 2 fans set up. Good. Mm-hmm. It's just scrolling very slowly. And there's the Phoenix.
That's the
tiny
fast
one
as
from
I
the
want,
RTX.
but I thought it looked nice.
Well, go up and show the Strix ones, because the Strix ones, that's where the
yeah, it's the same design as last year. It's just,
it is. But then I it's hard for me to ever want to buy a non-Strix card again, because the thick heatsink and the triple fan.
And my Discord likes to crash sometimes, and that's what just happened. I don't know why. It only does it during Pulse, but hey, you know what? The Pulse curse is still present,
Alive and well.
Yeah, it hasn't left us yet. I mean, Discord is still my best friend, but let's get your webcams back on. And beautiful technology. Yeah, just at least it's
anyway,
like
all I was saying is I like the big heat sinks and the triple fan, because it's quieter.
Yeah,
silence is golden.
Well, it absolutely is. And you can factor in the 0 decibel mode, where the fans just stop spinning when they don't need to. That's you're living the good life.
Best GPU invention in a while. I love when the fan stops spinning and it's just like pure silence. And I don't know if this particular model, but a lot of the Strix models, the other thing I like about them is that they have the little BIOS switch for the P and Q modes. And I know that like this may sound like sacrilege for a lot of people, but I always put it on Q mode, because it's still really powerful and it actually is quieter.
Wow, I would never do that. You're a savage.
Sorry.
You know, there is something luxurious about having so much GPU power to spare that you can just kind of like,
yeah,
I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I have extra that I don't
but
need.
This is also kind of the beauty of variable refresh rate, right? Like, so on this machine back here that I have hooked up to my TV, I'm playing with VSync at 60 because that TV doesn't have variable refresh rate. And if I'm on the cusp, like I am with Forza Horizon 5 on my 1070, you gotta like tweak settings and get everything just so you can get to that 60 frames per second level. With the 3070 in my desktop, if you're playing over 60 frames per second, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not trying to get exactly to 144 hertz. I can put on variable refresh rate, and whatever performance I lose in Q mode is going to be negligible, and I won't have the noise.
Yeah.
Because it's just syncing with my monitor anyway. You know, what do a few frames per second matter? The 3 frames per second matter a lot when you're playing at like between 55 and 60 with VSync. But at higher refresh rates with adaptive sync, I'll give up a few frames for silence.
Yeah.
So those are the NVIDIA models. I think we need to bring up the new tech they announced too, though, DLDSR, which that's one too many letters for my brain to remember off the top of my head, but it stands for Deep Learning Dynamic Super Resolution. So
you're telling me that AI is changing technology again?
Yeah. So it's kind of like the same as DLSS, but also the opposite. The idea is, instead of running a game at a lower resolution than your monitor and scaling it up with AI to the resolution of your monitor, this is for like if you have a 1080p monitor, and you know, before this tech, you could do something called super sampling, where you would run the game at 4K and then it would downscale back to 1080p on your monitor if you had a bunch of GPU headroom to spare. And this would actually improve the look of the game. It seems weird that you could take that 1080p scaled down from 4K would look better than native 1080p, but it does. I've written about it. I've done some tests, and you can actually tell the difference. It looks quite good. So this new tech, basically, if you're running like a 1080p monitor, let's say, it'll scale the game up to 4K with like DLSS style upscaling tech, and then scale it back down for your 1080p monitor. So you basically
it's crazy.
You don't really lose much performance, but the graphics will look better than they would at native 1080p.
An easy example is aliasing. You know, like this is just by far the best anti-aliasing technique out there. It's just traditionally the most prohibitively expensive one. That's the only reason why you have other techniques out there, is just because this
super
one
sampling
used to just crush your GPU.
Yep. And that's it's exactly what it's for. The example that I remember using in a guide that I wrote on it was, if you, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you have all this foliage on the trees, and a lot of those like small branches and stuff will disappear or be really jaggy at 1080p, but with super sampling, they actually look like diagonal lines, even at 1080p. It's really, really good, and I'm super excited to see what this can do. This is available, again, on any card that has tensor cores and supports RTX and DLSS. You'll be able to use this, and I believe that the drivers for this are coming out soon.
Can I briefly interject that I love that they're advertising the game Pray for this?
I knew you were going to say
that. Game does not get enough love. That game does not get enough love.
I feel like it's gotten more love as people have come to realize how good Arcane is.
Oh yeah,
all of these games, but I have not played it. I've played both Dishonored, I've played Deathloop, I have not played Prey. Mostly because it's a little bit more horror-esque, right? Is that my understanding correct there?
Yeah, that's
not as much my genre, but I have heard good things about it.
It looks good, but I have not played
it.
Yeah. I'm amazed. Like, I would never have even thought to make this. This is genius. So I'm pretty excited. They also released, they partnered up with the guy who makes Reshade, which some of you guys may know. It's like a third-party tool that you can use to add better lighting effects to your games. and NVIDIA teamed up with them to build in some of those reshade style filters to NVIDIA Freestyle. So you don't necessarily need a third-party tool to make games look better. Kind of give, it's especially great for like older games, like giving them the kind of remastered treatment by adding better lighting effects and things like that. It's really cool. I've used it before. So I'm excited to see it like built into GeForce Experience, basically.
Just a question from chat, unrelated, but will there be another Strix Advantage? We haven't announced anything yet, but it's always possible.
Yeah.
So basically, can I just throw out there that you look at our announcement for the new Zephyrus G14, and maybe it doesn't have Advantage Edition on the label, but that's all AMD all the time.
That's true.
It is an all AMD machine. Yeah. So it's similar. If you are, an AMD fan.
I spent a lot of time with last year's Advantage Edition, and just one thing that impressed me start to finish with that is just, it's competitive. It does everything, like AMD's just a top to bottom solution for laptop, and it was a great device, just all around. We were able to sell it for a great price. Really pleased with that product, and I'm eager to see what the next generation of AMD laptop GPUs can do.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very curious. I'm going to get to try out that new G14, so I will see. AMD also announced the 6500 XT on the desktop, which is again, I'm stoked for anything in that mid-range, especially with, again, so on the AMD side, you got FSR and things like that, that can scale things up to higher res and keep some good image quality going there. For the 6500 XT, we have an Asus Dual and an Asus Tough variant. No ROG variants for that one. But yeah, you can grab, you'll be able to grab both of those at some point. I don't know if those are not out yet. I don't think, Eric. No, I wrote this article. I should know, but I don't.
You did. That was you.
So availability is a tricky.
CES is all a blur right now. I'm just.
But even with availability, it's a tricky thing because sometimes you hear a date and then it's like, is that date public? Has that date changed? It's always.
Yep. Keep an eye out. They're coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, for AMD fans who want that more mid-range experience, they've got that as well. The only other thing that was announced that we haven't talked about yet is AMD's new desktop processor, the Ryzen 7 5800X3D.
Yeah,
this is really cool.
Compelling. Yeah.
This is kind of a peek into the future. I mean, Eric, you might be able to explain this better than I can, so maybe I'll let you do it. Do you want to explain to us the 3D cache on that?
Well, just to put it really briefly, like there's just sort of like physical limitations for where you can put the cache, right? Because you need to have your cores to be able to access this really like close high-speed memory, the SRAM. And that has historically kept, this cache to like sizes that sound small for those of us who are used to talking about, our DDR5, our DDR4 RAM sticks. So it's fascinating that they are going vertical. They're going up, baby. Like they're able to put on
stacking it on top of each other, right? To keep it close to the cores. And so this thing has 8 cores, 16 threads, up to 4.5 gigahertz, but a whopping 96 megabytes of L3 cache.
Yeah.
Which, like, for comparison, I mean, other CPUs are closer to, I mean, I guess I only have the laptop CPUs right here in front of me, but those are like in the 20s of megabytes. I think some of AMD's desktop CPUs, don't those get into like the 60s?
Well, that's because of the chiplet design, right? Because it's split between the different cores. Though, question we're really interested in looking forward, if AMD does this for, a monster variant of, say, the 5950X, like, how much L3 cache is that thing going to have with 3D piled on top of it? This is fascinating.
Yeah, and so they teased that a little bit earlier last year, I think, and so this is the first CPU we're going to see with that, and they teased that we have 5-nanometer Zen 4 chips coming.
Yeah.
So a lot of exciting stuff from AMD on the CPU side, both here and on the way soon.
Now, I think there are certain communities of gamers that are really going to be excited about this chip because there are games out there that are just more sensitive to memory latency than others. You know, and those gamers are going to be seeing a product like this and thinking, "Ooh, this is my chip. This is for me," and that's exciting.
If you're playing high frame rate like esports titles at 1080p, where you're more likely to be CPU bound, especially, like this chip is gonna kick some ass.
Hey, if you're trying to max out that 360 hertz display, man, you
dude, stop!
Gotta get
everyone gotta stop
rolling.
talking about the 360 hertz display because it makes me want it.
I
so
will not, sir. I will not. You cannot silence my enthusiasm for that monitor. Oh my goodness.
I mean, if I could just get 240 hertz at an ultra wide, which I guess we have a 200 hertz ultra wide that Lane is still trying to convince me to buy. And one day I may cave, but we'll see.
If I do manage to get my hands on the PG32UQ, I'm going to be happy. I'm content with sticking to 1440 hertz if I can game in 4K. And we're only getting, closer and closer and closer to being able to game in 4K.
You said 1440 hertz, which would be insane.
I'll take it.
Oh wow, I don't think we need that many frames, but yeah.
I said that about 240 and 360, and I was just wrong. Like I was wrong. Xavier says in the chat, I play on 240 hertz. Can't even imagine how smooth 360 would be. It's good.
It's insane. I've only had a brief experience with our 360 hertz display. I had it here for like a week. And
it's a more subtle difference than going from 144 to 240, but it is still noticeable.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It is still noticeable, and I loved it when I reviewed our 1080p 360 hertz monitor. It was awesome.
When I got my hands on it, I played Valorant on it. That's what I played on it, and I was able to get that frame rate. And going back to 144 hertz from 360 was like if you ever go on your monitor, if you have like a 144, 165 hertz display, you change it to 60, it felt like that. It felt
a little
awful.
bit.
Like I feel that.
It's a bigger difference than you would think if you haven't seen it. It's hard to go back once you've played refresh rates that smooth, but you got to have some beefy hardware to go with it.
So fellas, you're given a magical opportunity to either grab the new 360 hertz 1440p monitor or one of the new OLED series monitors. What do you go for?
The OLEDs, those are like 42 inches, right?
42 and 48.
Yeah, 42 and
Your
48.
choice.
I couldn't fit that on my desk. But if I was building a Star Citizen sim pit, I would go with the 48.
Dude, that'd
OLED.
be sweet.
Yeah, that's the dream. That's the
go.
dream, right? Get a sim rig with a 48-inch ROG OLED.
It's a tough call. Like, I don't know, man. I might go for the 360 hertz.
Me too.
But
I think I would.
It's a really tough call because OLEDs are incredible, obviously. Like, we don't need to tell anyone why OLEDs are incredible. Those perfect blacks are just once you go to an OLED, it is kind of hard to go back sometimes. Although I did it. I had an OLED TV and I don't anymore. If you have good local dimming, which we don't have no local dimming on the 360 hertz, but you know what? I'm playing on a display right now that has no local dimming. It's just a regular VA panel, and you know what? I'm pretty happy with it. If I could get 360 hertz, I think that would excite me. Because you know what? Here's the other thing. Most games that this is a personal thing. Most games that have like really good HDR or like really like just visually impressive, I'm probably going to play on my TV. I use this machine and my monitor almost exclusively for FPS games. And so the 360 hertz monitor, particularly for FPS games that I can run that fast, I think that would benefit me more than the OLED would.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if I care about visual fidelity, I'm probably going to watch it on my TV.
Like I'm all in on the OLED hype train, right? I've got a nice 56-inch OLED in my living room. It's really dreamy. But I'm actually really curious to try the PG32UQ, which is the next display I think I'm going to be using for the stream, just because I have not used a mini LED display yet. And I think gaming on the technology, seeing what that's like in comparison to the OLED, having HDR 1400, I forget what the nits on the display is, but I think it's got pretty high brightness on that display. I think it's going to be really cool, especially, I can't stream in HDR, which is really sad, right? Because Twitch does not support that. But just experiencing that HDR 1400 is going to be really cool. And again, it's 4K 144 hertz, right? I'm not getting that experience. I'm not getting that kind of frame rate on my TV in my living room. That's only going to happen with my desktop. That's only going to happen on PC gaming, and bumping up to 32 inches with that mini LED in 4K is going to be. I think it's going to be awesome.
TV if you hooked up the right PC to it. You could get 120 hertz, which is close.
Yeah,
but it's not the same.
True. It's not the same. It's not the same.
You know, I mean, that really highlights the fact that, you know, as fun as OLED is, there are still definite reasons to be looking at LCD panel types.
Of course, yeah.
Mini LED has a peak brightness that current OLED panels just can't match.
Yeah, that is real.
And you can combine that with like fluidity that is just still out of the reach of OLED panels. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm excited about the 120 hertz OLED panels where they're going to be debuting soon. Don't get me wrong. But right now we're looking at mini LED monitors with 144 hertz at 4K, you know, like, yeah.
Yep. Although, you know, you get, in terms of fluidity, you also got to factor in the fact that OLEDs have that like instantaneous response time.
Those are my notes.
I mean, sure.
It's a good thing I didn't write anything saucy in the notes.
Here, I gotta manually hide this, and then we'll show marbles. There we go.
You know, certainly, you know, that low response time really does wonders for blurriness of fast moving images.
Yeah. So it's you know, even with the higher rate, it's higher refresh rate versus lower response time. Which do you care about?
Yeah.
I want it all, Whitson. I want it all.
I know. It's tough. It's so hard because I'm like, one of the things about being in a job like this, particularly being a product reviewer like I used to be, is you become so spoiled. Like, ignorance was bliss, man. I long for the days when I like only knew what a pair of $20 headphones sounded like, and I only knew what like a cheap TV looked like, because now that I've used all the really good stuff, I'm like, well, this OLED's not perfect enough, or like this 1000 nit mini LED is not good enough, because nothing's perfect, right?
Right.
And you still have to choose between two incredible technologies instead of one like glorious perfection. It's difficult.
It is.
But I still think I'd take the 360 hertz.
Whitson, I don't think anyone in the chat is feeling sad for you.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're engendering no sympathy whatsoever.
What I'm saying, guys, is ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
If that isn't a first world problem, I don't know what
we're
is.
We're typically spoiled here. Yeah, especially working for ROG, we get our hands on some of the coolest tech in the world. I mean, yeah, the Flow Z13, like I said, on my desk in the other room is just such a treat to just kind of see what a next gen gaming tablet could look like. Yeah, a lot of cool things on the horizon. One thing that we didn't talk about is Intel's discrete GPUs that are codenamed the Alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
That is kind of on the horizon. And I can just say that one of our former hosts on the show, Jeff, went to go work for Intel. And he's involved in their GPUs in some way. That's all we know, right? But like they're definitely gearing up. They're talking about a 2022 launch for pushing into that space. So I have now lost two colleagues to Intel, and I'm very excited for them. I'm very excited for them because it's going to be cool to see what they do. I've been an Intel fanboy for a long time, even though my PC is currently running on a Ryzen 5900, and I love it. To join the giveaway, you need to be in Twitch chat, guys. It is !play in Twitch chat that will enter into the Marbles giveaway. This is because Marbles can only read Twitch chat. It's not a tool that works with YouTube. It only works on Twitch. So if you want to participate, you need to go to twitch.tv/AsusROG, type !play. We'll give you another minute and a half or so to enter.
I mean, Jake, I do feel for you that you lost two beloved colleagues to Intel, but if you hadn't, I wouldn't be here. So
That's true. Gains. I'll take it.
I tried to put the screws to our former colleague, see if I could squeeze some information about those ROG GPUs, and was 100% unsuccessable.
Just met with stonewalling.
What I got to do is I got to request sample units because I don't care about information. I care about trying out the performance. Right?
I know.
Play it on us.
And this is like, I have no idea if we'll be doing partner cards or anything like that. This is all still secret information. Who knows? Do we think Intel will come up with competitive GPUs? Yeah. I mean, I think so. Intel's got a lot of smart people there. And have you seen how much better their integrated graphics have become over the past few years?
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do on the desktop, given the improvements that they made just on integrated chips. I'm very, very interested.
I'll give a shout out to Iris Xe graphics. You know,
Yep.
that was a breath of fresh air after their older UHD kind of hit the end of its usable life cycle there.
And I'm excited to see XeSS too, and see how that competes with things like DLSS and because it, you know, again, Intel's got a lot of really smart people working for them. If anyone can go toe to toe with NVIDIA on AI upscaling stuff, I'm very curious to see what Intel comes out with. As a DLSS fanboy.
Yeah. So someone asked, how do we even play this? Marbles is completely random generated. So you don't actually do anything. You just type ! play. You get your name listed in there, and then you just pray to RNGesus that you win or lose, because we give a prize to first and last. If you die, if you fall off the map, if you're eliminated, you do not count as last. You are out.
I thought RNG. I had never heard the term RNGesus before. I thought you said pray to ROGesus, like ROG.
Ooh, you gotta play to ROGesus. There we go. Yeah, RNGesus, like RNG. But yeah,
I get it. I get it now.
You can pray to ROGesus.
It's not even the right. It's not even the right letter.
It doesn't matter.
Jesus' name doesn't use a soft G.
If we ever manage to get emotes, we're gonna make an ROGesus emote, and it's gonna be Whitson's face. Doesn't have to make sense.
I mean, I am wearing basically robes right now.
There you go. See, you're you got it on lock. Okay, Discord is my best friend right now. Thank you for crashing, Discord. You are just the best. You're just
over there.
Incredible. Great effort, Discord.
Twice in 1 1-hour stream.
I know.
How are we going to make it 3 hours playing Sea of Thieves tomorrow?
I don't understand. I really don't. I sit in a WoW raid for 3 hours once a week, and it doesn't crash at all. But it's something with the screen.
It must be us.
Yeah, it must be you. It can't. It's ROGesus is too powerful for it. We're gonna start the giveaway. 120 marbles rolling down the hill. First and last get a prize. Oh, this one. This one is
Here we go.
crazy.
Not seen this one
Here we go.
This one is like a series of portals that have like random effects, so you can win really fast, or it could take forever for anyone to win. Bamboo error, or baboon error. Oh, okay,
this is
rainfall wall is out.
Holy moly!
Lantis is out.
Launching,
flying.
Yeet City over here.
Oh, Carapic Man going to the moon. Literally, he's going to Earth.
Is this
it's just like out. So many people are dead.
Wait, there's a web Discord? Oh, I guess I did know that.
That's not
Would
a
that work
terrible
for
idea.
us?
That's not a terrible idea. Holy crap. Going fast.
I had not thought about that. We should try it.
Almost everyone has died. We might have to do a second race if we don't get 2 winners.
If only one person makes it to the end.
This one is an incredibly high death rate, and I just chose a random course, right? So Gbra slid in. That's the ghost, but that doesn't actually count.
There we go.
All these guys are stuck at the rubble, so these guys should all be able to finish, but it really comes down to who's going to get first and who's going to get last. Okay, we're stuck again. Oh my
gosh.
No one left back there, right? Okay, Gbra again does not count as a person.
Wait, has anyone won yet?
No one has finished.
So no one has crossed the finish line.
No one has crossed the finish line yet. It has been nothing but death and destruction so far. We're down to who's first? Okay, so Momo White is one, and Vulgar Prophet JC is the other. Please type in chat to confirm that you're here.
That is a ridiculous map. That's a special one.
Okay, so we got Momo. And we got Vulgar Prophet. Congrats, guys. We will be sending you guys a message tomorrow. We always just verify that you guys aren't like multi-accounting and or botting, by some third-party applications to kind of just check your account, and then we'll send you your reward. In the event that we do catch like a multi-accounter, we'll just send it to the next person on the list. We just save the list here. But congratulations.
ROGesus will know.
ROGesus will know.
Just all of a sudden, this podcast is just very sacrilegious.
We've gone off the rails here, guys.
At all. Well, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, you think Discord will crash us again before we close out?
I don't know. We got like a minute. Let's hope for the best. So are we playing Sea of Thieves tomorrow? Most likely.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't.
Cool.
We want to make sure that when we stream God of War that we're able to give out some game keys for it, because this is a pretty big PC title. It's something that
you can dial in those sweet graphic settings.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing is, we always try to optimize games for streaming, and that doesn't necessarily mean hitting like the best possible frame rate I can hit. It means making sure that we're hitting the best possible frame rate while also making the game look good on stream, because typically I find that typically I find that like a stable 120 is ideal if I can hit that, because it feels really good for me. Streaming, I can only stream in 60 FPS on Twitch anyways, so you get that 1-to-1 conversion from 60 to 120, or 1-to-2, I guess. But anyways, it works out nicely typically, but I like to have a day or at least several hours to sit there and dial it in, and currently it doesn't look like we have that happening. So look forward to Sea of Thieves tomorrow. Eric, if you want to sail the seas with us, we could have a fourth, and you are welcome to join. The offer is there.
I've got it installed. I have no idea how this game works at all.
Good. It's better going in like completely clueless, because if you've never played Sea of Thieves, this game's been out for many years, but in order to play, we're gonna have a 4-person ship. If you have a 4-person crew, you have to spawn a 4-person ship. A 4-person ship requires more people to manage the ship, because it's a larger ship. You gotta adjust the sails, you gotta steer the boat, you gotta raise the anchor, and the anchor is bigger and heavier, so it takes more people to do it, or longer to do it, and it just requires communication to sail. You can play duo, you can play trio with smaller ships, but as soon as you hit 4, it becomes that much harder, in my opinion, especially with newbies. Yeah, so that sounds like a great time to me, actually.
Wait, so
Can I be the guy singing sea shanties? I feel that's more my skill set.
Are all three of us? Has Lane played this, or is it going to be all newbies and Jake?
And you know what? I'm basically a newbie, because I play.
Okay. I thought you played with your friends.
I play it like once a year. I install. That's the beauty of Game Pass, is like it's not the kind of game where I would play a lot of, but with Game Pass, it's just like, well, I can just click install. My buddy's been hounding me to play it recently, so I have it installed, and I was like, this would be fun with the ROG guys. Let's play it.
Okay, cool. I'm in. In between my Forza sessions.
Nice. And yeah, next week, we are definitely giving away copies of Monster Hunter Rise. We're looking to also give away copies of God of War to be confirmed. And I think we have another game that we're giving away keys for. Give me 2 seconds. No, I've been having a lot of cool conversations.
We're working on finding some.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying to find cool and unique things that we can give out. And it's a game that I had never heard of. And it's the Legend of Tianding, and it's actually got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's a 2D side scroll action game. It looks really cool. It's got a great art style, and it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews. So we're going to be in the near future streaming that and giving away keys for it. But I had never heard of it, and it looks pretty badass. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm into it. Cool.
But any plugs you guys want to give before we sign out?
No. Come back here tomorrow for Sea of Thieves. Come back next week.
Flare 2 Animate looks awesome.
Dude, I am pumped for that. Pumped.
I should have one in like 2 weeks, I think, to show it off. So we'll be diving in, showing you guys off the whole anime ecosystem, because that's not anime, animate.
Anime matrix.
That's gonna be
is the term.
G14.
Headset.
Keyboard. I want it all.
We will be showing off new hardware as we get our hands on it, guys. Mm-hmm. And when we have release dates, we will share them.
Dude, I'm actually really excited about the Animate keyboard, though, just because I've been using the Claymore for months now, but I'm going to retire this keyboard for a while, and I've never swapped out switches. So we're going to do a full-on keyboard modding show. We actually, remember we got those.
Really? Did you order some switches?
Not yet, but remember we got the PBT keycaps? We got those.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'll now have a home forum.
Those will work. Oh, yeah, those will work on the Animate.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm gonna order, I'm actually going to have to consult you as to what brand to buy, but I'm going to buy custom brown switches. I'm gonna go
Whitson
back.
has suggestions.
I know he
I
does.
have
He's a keyboard nerd.
suggestions.
I
You
know
see
he is.
him?
I
He's
have
ready.
suggestions.
And I've never swapped out the switches on a keyboard before, so there's a first
It's
time.
easy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's just it's not. I'm excited to do it. Right.
Yeah. Create your own custom ROG keyboard, basically. Get those PVT keycaps and some
Custom animation
some
on the
custom
corner.
switches. Yeah, it's gonna be like the most customizable gaming
pumped.
keyboard ever.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
That'll be good.
That's gonna do it for us here on Pulse. We'll see you next time. GG's and take care.
Well,